Hi, this is Arthur Carmazzi, best-selling author and currently ranked as one of the world's top 10 thought leaders in organizational culture and leadership. And welcome to the Experts MBA, the show for trainers, coaches, and consultants to basically help you build the business side of, well, your business. And today we are going to be talking about branding, okay? Creating your specific brand blueprint so that you can stand out and be recognized. Now, a branding blueprint is more than just kind of like trying to figure out, what you're going to look like and what you're going to do and everything else. But today, the brand blueprint is pretty extensive, but we're only going to focus on the first part of it. And then we'll be going and doing some more later on, okay? So, first of all, the first questions that you got to ask in your brand blueprint is, basically, what are you good at? Okay? What are your expertise? And more importantly, what makes you excited? See, here's the thing. Oftentimes, you get trainers that'll go out there or coaches that'll say, I'm really very good at, connecting with people. But, maybe you don't know very much about business and you say, I want to be a business coach. Or maybe you've got some things that you're kind of dealing with and you say, I want to learn how to kind of solve my own problems. And so therefore you become a coach. Or you say, I want to be a trainer because I know that as a trainer, I don't really have to work as often and I make a lot of money. Okay, so these are not necessarily the best reasons, okay, to go into this business. But even if you are in here, the whole point is, okay, what are you passionate about? Now, you probably have some experience, okay? So let's say, for example, you have some experience in the oil and gas business. Now, if you have experience in the oil and gas business, you actually know the real problems behind the oil and gas business. And you know what? When you know somebody's problems, they can really relate to you on a much higher level. When you can say, I know that this is one of the things you face. If, for example, let's say you are in the hospitality industry, right? And you can use the same jargon as they do. People say, you really understand me, okay? And so that gives you an advantage. So the problem that oftentimes trainers and coaches face is they try to, basically do everything for everybody. And that's cool and all because it might get you some quick jobs here and there, especially when you're starting out. But at the end of the day, if you really want to build your business, you got to specialize. And I don't mean necessarily just specialize in one area, but it also potentially, depending on your area of expertise, you could specialize in an industry. So, for example, is customer service in the airlines the same as, say, customer service for a phone company? Well, probably there's a few things in there that are kind of, connecting, but at the end of the day, it's not really the same. And the things that you train, the things you develop, the people's perceptions and the customers and all of that stuff is not the same. So by specializing in, let's say, the airline industry, you're going to get airline people that are going to go and say, wow, okay, this person really understands what we're doing, what we're talking about, and so therefore, let's hire them instead of the generic person. So this is a very important part to consider when you are doing your branding. Now, the other part, of course, is your personality, okay, of your brand. In this particular case, we're just going to be talking about what you look like, okay? How cool are you, or how kind of formal are you, or, what are the words you use? Are you kind of crazy like me? Are you very conservative and, straightforward? What's your style? Be original. Do not try to blend in. We have one of our most successful trainers that in directive communication psychology is a gentleman named Leslie Chowdhury. Now, Leslie used to do a lot of training, and he was a great storyteller, he was a good trainer, but, he was kind of fit in with everybody else. And so when Leslie became a directive communication certified trainer, one of the things that we did with him is we helped him with his branding. And he used to wear the suit and the whole thing and everything else. Is like, Leslie, your personality doesn't match the suit, dude. I mean, come on. Be like Leslie, be yourself. So we took all of the suit stuff and the tie and we threw it away, okay? And then we went out and we got him some very colorful jackets. Okay, actually the jackets were all the colors of the different colored brains. So there was red, green, purple, and blue. And so he uses these bright colored jackets with a black shirt and black pants, and this has become a very signature brand for him, and it's worked wonderfully. And he still, even though he does look bright, and even though he is kind of a little bit crazy, he still is training for CEOs and, traveling around the world doing talks. And, well, he's successful not just because of what he can do, but because people recognize the brand and he stands out. So, what is it about you that stands out? You're like saying, well, Arthur, I'm just kind of an ordinary person. Well, every person is a person, but what makes you stand out? I mean, what do you like? Do you, maybe, what kind of clothes do you want to wear? What kind of clothes do you think would be super cool that would just kind of, make you stand out a little bit more than somebody else? Okay? What kind of personality do you have? Okay? Are you kind of like, well, I'm not really that energetic? Well, that's okay. You don't have to be super energetic or crazy. The question is, how can you use what you have to make it different? Okay? And that is the goal when it comes to brand personality. Okay? And so, of course, the other thing you got to know is who you are competing against. All right? Where are you going? How are you going to position your brand? Are you going to be super expensive? Are you going to be super cheap? Okay, if you're cheap, you don't even have to worry about your brand. You're just competing on price. So here's the thing. Don't be cheap. Okay? Build your brand so that you can charge more money. But the question is, how much more money? Are you, going to be competing against Tony Robbins, which would be pretty tough because his brand is, well, pretty awesome. Okay? Or are you going to be competing against maybe Marshall Goldsmith? Okay? Still doable, possible. Okay, competing against Arthur Carmazzi, easy, no sweat, man. We'll even help you. Okay, the thing is, you have to define your competitors, and you got to come up with all of the reasons why you are better than these competitors. Because people are going to ask you this stuff, and even though they may not compare you to your competitors, they're thinking about them. Okay, so by answering your questions with your brand promise in advance, okay, you are already preempting any objections that people may have about hiring you over a competitor. And you got to be able to justify your price, right? Why should somebody pay you more money than the other guy that's like half price as you? Okay, so identify who your competitors are and kind of show your value compared to theirs and incorporate that into all of your materials and your branding. Okay, and of course, if you by chance happen to want us to do a free brand blueprint for you, which will take the entire branding process and also help you to look at how you can completely automate your business, and we put this into a blueprint for you. Okay, and if you would like us to do that absolutely free, then go to this little email address right here, experts.mba/blueprint. You can watch the video, okay, understand why we're doing it, and then you can apply to have a free, did I say it was free? Blueprint for your branding and business automation, okay, combined with your branding. Okay, so with that, this is Arthur Carmazzi wishing you great success.